Darren Rovell know this, right? Darren joins us now. Is that true that the Twitter bird is named after Larry Bird, Darren?
I had heard that that bird's name was indeed Larry, so and I had heard that rumor.
Do you think that Larry even tweets?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever been on Twitter.
I saw this story about athletes, how much they get paid to tweet. Who's the highest paid athlete?
So this is a company called Open Doors, and basically they kind of allow you to click and buy, an athlete tweet. The fair market value with their algorithm of the biggest athlete, Cristiano, each tweet for a company will be worth $304,000, they say. Then Neymar, $143,000, and LeBron James, $126,000. Now, I don't know of anyone who's ever gotten paid that. I do know that LeBron was offered $85,000 to tweet about the movie The Heat with Sandra Bullock, and he passed.
Okay. When did they start charging?
Probably about maybe a year and a half ago. I think that's when it kind of broke through. I think some of it there's been a little bit of a backlash as to the effectiveness of it because the Federal Trade Commission now says that if you're getting paid, you must put the word #spawn, as in sponsor, or #ad, just because they want to make sure that you don't mislead people.
But if Cristiano Ronaldo is tweeting, what's the product? What is the advertiser getting out of this?
Certainly exposure, impressions. I mean, it's not as good as a 30-second commercial, but you're getting what you pay for, which is kind of the exposure of putting it out there. But like any form of advertising, it's debatable. I mean, how many people actually click on something? How many people actually go to something? And then how many people actually buy something? I mean, this is what advertising is about. But there's no doubt that social media is a way for athletes to make money now. That's why when I hear Jameis Winston's decided not to be on Twitter, you're almost better off learning how to be on Twitter. And if you're looking for, I know Jameis is looking for $650,000, $700,000 for a shoe deal. They're going to factor that in, that you're not on Twitter, that social is not part of the products that you offer, the way to get out there.
Who are the biggest athletes not on Twitter?
Well, there was Jeter, certainly Brady. Brady's kind of weird because he's willing to share things and open himself up on Facebook, but he's not on Twitter. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure if Messi is on Twitter or not. But yeah, there's a lot of athletes who still don't believe in it, and that's fine. I'm just saying you're potentially leaving money on the table. You're potentially not sharing, a side of you that could kind of add to your personality to reach fans.
Is Jameis Winston somebody that advertisers are going to be in line for?
Yes. Now, when you say advertisers, it's not going to be quite like Johnny Manziel. I mean, Johnny Manziel appears in a McDonald's commercial. He signs the largest memorabilia deal ever, worth more than $1 million with Panini. He has, his Nike deal is pushing $1 million. I know Jameis is expecting about $750,000 a year in shoe and apparel deal. I'm not sure he's going to get that. That's going to be the biggest money. I'm not sure blue chip companies are ready to go with Jameis Winston yet. But
how long do these companies stay with Johnny Manziel?
Well, that's certainly a question. I think Snickers was more of a one-off deal, even though, man, did they run that commercial over and over and over again. So I think that deal's pretty much done anyway. Nike, we'll see how long they can afford to kind of stay on the sidelines. I don't think they can terminate him based on their morals clause, even though he's apparently been in treatment for six weeks. I don't think they can just terminate him. The memorabilia is going to be tough. I think those guys are stuck with him. So I don't think anyone new gives him a chance until he comes back on the field and plays well.
He's Darren Rovell, covers sports business for ESPN, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Give me the younger guys. Steph Curry, marketable? James
Oh
Harden?
my God, Steph! People are so surprised. I was at the event last year where I showed up. It was an Under Armour event at their brand store in New York, and I could not believe the line and the amount of Warriors. Prior to that, I had never seen a Warriors jersey in New York City, and I saw about 180 of them. And the line was, 1,000 deep. And he told me that was the moment where he realized he was marketable. He's in the top three. And one of the reasons why Steph Curry works is because, people don't see themselves in centers. People see themselves in guards. And he's the ultimate guy. He's the everyman. Now, no one could shoot like him, but everyone can look like him. I mean, he walks through New York City and you don't know anything about the NBA. That is not an athlete. I mean, he's what, 6'2", but that you don't think that guy's one of the best players in the NBA. Steph Curry is the real deal. Marketers clamoring to get him, and let's see what he can do with Under Armour. Their shoe game is not really turned around yet.
What about J.J. Watt?
Yeah, when you say J.J. Watt, when you say Steph Curry, I'm shying away a little bit from lumping Kevin Durant into there, but it's all about being genuine. And J.J. Watt is incredible in terms of what he does for charity, what he does to make people feel good. He loves the position that he's in. Now, he doesn't have a shoe deal. He had a deal with Nike and then decided that he'd rather not make money off his shoe deal because he wants to wear kind of what he wants to wear. It's too important for him. It's not worth a couple $100,000.
Okay.
And I respect that. But he's definitely another next big thing.
What about Tebow at his peak? How endorsable was he?
Well, he got attention. I mean, there was really no one like him who got the type of attention that he got. His contract with Nike was the biggest for someone who really wasn't going to play. $300,000 a year, obviously jockey. I mean, he got the attention and he made a lot of money. He made a lot of money in endorsements. I think that's done now, and it's important for him to be on the field, I don't think obviously that's ever going to happen.
How tough is it when Nike drops you? How does that resonate with people? Because they've stood by, Tiger and Kobe and Lance, Adrian Peterson. They stood by them for a while, but when Nike says we're going to abandon ship, what does that mean?
Yeah, then you're pretty much done, because that's when Nike abandons ship. That's when they're saying you're no longer marketable. Not that, you're hurting our company, but you're no longer marketable. I mean, they just stuck with Kobe and knew at some point he was going to be back and be back even stronger. They just kind of just waited on the sidelines. But of recent, I mean, Nike has severed, 5 or 6 deals in the last, 2 years, and they hadn't severed 6 deals in their entire history. So I don't know if that says anything about the endorsement model. I don't think it's going away, but I do think that they're getting more tired of this stuff. And I think that the athlete guys, Nike's now a $22 billion company. No single person, even a Tiger to golf, is going to generate enough to have them stick it out and endure the bad will.
Why is the Jordan brand endured?
I just think, the retro line, I think the way that they've released things, the last 2 or 3 shoes have gotten panned. So the new, like the 28s and 29s, but I just think they can launch those retros over and over and over again. It just seems like there's no end to it. I mean, $2.5 billion in sales. It's incredible. It's unbelievable.
But
I think shoe collecting, Jordan collecting, that's taken over for what baseball cards were. So many people go online, get their Jordans, put them in a box, and never wear them. And that's the collectability of sneakers. That's a huge thing for Nike. There's a site called Campless, and they do shoe data. And for the first time ever, the hottest shoe was not a Nike shoe. yesterday, the Adidas Yeezy. But numbers 2 through 62, in terms of the most collectible shoes, the most valuable shoes on the secondary market, were all Nike. Number 2 through 62. Think about that, Dan.
Wow. Well, what about the first year of Air Jordans? Unused. How valuable?
Depends on the condition, because shoes really deteriorate a lot.
Okay. But
if it still has the original tag on it, which is the picture of Jordan dunking, if it's nice in the box,
yeah,
you can easily get $4 grand.
And Jordan's going to be cashing in the rest of his life, right? Now he's a billionaire.
I'm told he gets 5% of the gross. So on a $200 sneaker, he gets 5% of $5 on a $200 sneaker.
And what's the math each year that he gets 5% of the
100 million, about 100 million a year.
Wow,
more than any other athlete.
Not even close.
Yeah, the closest is probably Tiger's now at about 55 million. LeBron, I mean, no, Jordan's all good.
But LeBron hasn't got into that stratosphere yet.
No, I don't think anyone will. No one's the next Jordan. I mean, he's the father of modern day sports marketing. I don't think, let's Harold Miner and let's retire the next Jordan thing. It's not happening. LeBron does pretty well. I mean, LeBron sales they did $350 million in LeBron shoes last year. So Jordan was $2.5 billion. So yes, not close.
What about Muhammad Ali? Did he ever cash in?
He has. He actually sold his estate to a company already. They have a ton of memorabilia. They manage his name. They just did a deal with Under Armour, but he kind of licensed off his name recently in a pretty big deal. I think he sold maybe 80-90%. But I always tell people that if you want to collect someone that has tremendous value, don't buy like little pieces. Buy a big Muhammad Ali piece, and that will appreciate in value in the next 10 years.
Like what though? What?
Try to buy a used something. You can get a fight used robe for 20 grand. I mean, if to touch someone who just has average money, spend $2,000 to get an authenticated pair of signed boxing gloves. Don't do the $100-$200 things here. Buy one massive piece. And I think Ali, he's just not signing that much anymore. Really, I think there's just so much value to that.
Good stuff, Darren. Appreciate you joining us.
Good joining you, Dan.
All right, Darren Rovell, the sports business reporter from ESPN.